Yeah.
So make sure, please do me a favor and share the live stream with your friends on your Facebook page. Just hit the little share button below. If you would do that, that would be the highest compliment you can give us today. We really want everyone to be able to watch this and see it.
Absolutely.
The audio's live on mainstream.
What else do I need to tell people to do? That's it. Have fun.
Enjoy.
Yeah, and comment, because we're going to be answering your comments on the air. So when you comment, we will be able to see them. So make sure you comment, leave us show ideas if you want to talk about the topic we're talking about today.
Questions,
Any questions you have, so make sure you leave us questions as well. So head right now to the What Your Friends Won't Tell You Facebook page. And if you can just leave that live stream up and share it with your friends, we would really, really, really appreciate it. Okay? All right, we're live up there, so we're going to say goodbye here. Bye. We'll see you at What Your Friends Won't Tell You. Bye.
All right, you're up.
Okay.
2 shots up.
Okay. Oh, my God.
Suzanne, 2 shots up. You're on camera. So you know.
I think, like, give us some idea, because we are really clueless, and we will talk forever.
Okay.
Right?
So
Oh, yes, totally.
You're live.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're live right now. Okay, so what cameras do we have? So this is our camera, our main camera.
Take that right now.
Where is that camera that you were just pulling up? Oh, these are your webcams. Okay, awesome. So we have multi-cameras for this production. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We're going to go live starting at, well, we're already live. We're going to start our actual show at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
But we wanted to kind of give you a little behind the
A
scenes.
little preview.
Yeah,
Yes.
a little preview.
We just can't wait is the honest truth.
Yeah. So we have been doing What Your Friends Won't Tell You, Shannon and I, for about a year now.
Yes.
And we've been doing it.
We've been talking about it for about 2 and a
2
half.
years. Yes.
Until my confrontive session with Suzanne of no more planning.
Yes.
We are doing and
She
filming.
did a little therapy on me.
little intervention. We're not talking anymore.
Yeah.
So we've been now talking on camera for a little over a year.
Yeah. We started with a podcast. That didn't work out. We started with like going out and doing some videos like
Harassing
on,
people in the
on
Publix
street.
parking lot.
That didn't
Yes.
work
That didn't go over. Who thought?
You're judging us right now. I can tell.
All judging us. Watching, judging.
So then I was like, okay, first of all, I know Facebook. I know how to do Facebook Lives. Like, let's just do some Facebook Lives. So that's kind of how this whole thing started, with us just doing Facebook Lives on camera, picking one topic, a challenge in life, whether it had to do with
Usually ours.
whether it had to do with divorce or depression or relationships or children. I mean, we kind of talk about everything.
Yes.
And over the last year, we've had 49 episodes, so about an episode a week.
Yeah.
This is our 50th episode today. So we have done pretty well about keeping up with our weekly episode.
Yeah. I had no doubt that you would do that as soon as we got started. So we did start that way, and we were just filming on my iPhone with no microphone. It was just the audio off of the iPhone. Yeah.
And it kind of snowballed. I found Brendan, our 17-year-old IT guy, and he figured out how to upload all this stuff onto, well, he kind of knew. He didn't have to figure it out. I had to figure it out. He started uploading our videos onto YouTube and onto our website. So our website is the acronym of What Your Friends Won't Tell You, WYFWTY.com. And so all of our episodes live there as well on our YouTube channel. And then we also recently decided to put them on podcasts, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily watch or have time to watch, but when they're driving or at the gym, like, you can just listen to us on your iTunes on podcast.
Right.
So I quit my job, as you all know. And this was sort of like really what I wanted to focus on for the next 3 months, was taking this show to the next level, and can we make this into something that
can be really impactful to the world and help and make it something that can be an employment for you.
Right.
As well.
Exactly.
And for me.
Right.
I'm not fighting that.
Right.
Although.
Okay, so we're 5 minutes away till our actual show, but we kind of wanted to give you some background. Then we decided to take it to the next level of this next 3 months, and so I tapped some of my former colleagues and said, can you help me? So we have Bruce. Bruce, do we have a camera on you?
Me, no.
Oh.
Well, I can.
Yeah, I'd like to. be able to see you.
Try to get your social set up over here.
Oh.
Elaine can do it.
Okay, and so Bruce, there's
There's
Bruce. Hey!
Yes, him for help.
So I asked Bruce for help, and Bruce was a director with me for many, many years in local news. In fact, I think Bruce and I started at CBS 12 about the same time.
Wow. Long
Bruce
time.
was
I remember
in
the day you
TV.
came in.
Okay, so you started
remember the
before
day
I
you came in,
did.
Just before. I remember the day you and Eric came in. Eric looking all like John Snyder.
Okay, so I started before Eric.
Yeah.
I started like 3 or 4 years before Eric. But you were doing, he was the Chiron operator. Now that just shows you how long ago this was in TV news, because really in TV news, they don't really have Chiron operators anymore because it's all automated. So Chiron, in case you want to know, you're probably like, I don't really care, but the Chiron person is the person who pops up all of the graphics. So you're going to see when we start our show in how many minutes? 3 minutes? 4 minutes?
Yep.
You're going to see graphics popping up, and like our names will pop up, and the show topic will pop up across the bottom. That's what the Chiron operator is in charge of. So Bruce was that person when I first started at CBS 12. Now he does it all. So he switches cameras, he does audio, he does the graphics. So now we put it all together. And into real TV news now, it's pretty much all together now because it's all automated. So the director does it all.
Wow.
Yeah. So just there's
Yeah.
a little TV news lesson for you.
Not anything I'm suited for.
Yeah. No, but she's the expert, and that's what I love about Shannon. She gives you all the tools that you need to deal with some of these things. And you know what else about Shannon is she does it in a way that is non-judgmental. You know, it just feels really safe. Like you always feel safe.
Oh,
you know?
thank you.
And
she's
so,
just trying to make me cry before I make her cry. Just so you know, that's what she's doing
I'm
right
gonna
now.
try to get through this episode without
she's trying
crying.
to get me before I get her. I know what she's doing, and it's working.
Oh, I love it.
I love you.
I love you too. Now you have note cards. I don't have note cards.
But you can cheat if you want.
Oh.
I'll share.
Oh, okay. Steph says she has note cards for me. She
I
made
wrote
us
in
all
little
little
cheat
note
sheets.
cards. She's amazing. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I got to get a picture of this behind my dog and my daughter.
I'm right here.
Oh wait, I was getting a picture of you. Look at the dog. Oh my God, this is hilarious. Like,
Oh my gosh.
no audio on Facebook is what they're saying? Who's saying that?
There's no reason why there shouldn't be.
Can we
Gene had it earlier on.
can we hear it from
you,
where we
baby.
are? Audio on Facebook? Let me check.
Are you getting a lot of people?
Oh, your mom?
Okay. Yeah, we got it. It's fine. It's there. You're good. All right. Yeah, it's there.
Your poor mom probably has the same issues I do.
Okay, I'm gonna share this really quick on my page.
At 30 out, I'm gonna go black.
Okay, so we're gonna go to black, guys, and then we're gonna come up and we'll be starting our half-hour What Your Friends Won't Tell You 50th episode. So don't go anywhere when you see it turning to black.
Put the bug in. So
Oh, you will. Okay.
know that it's-
You should see like a little bug in the corner.
All right. We're in black.
Do you want to put your shirt up a little bit?
Our
Yes, it is.
signature. Guys, welcome to What Your Friends Won't Tell You. It is the 50th episode, and we wanted to bring you a very special 50th episode for What Your Friends Won't Tell You. I'm Suzanne Boyd.
And I'm Shannon Thompson Jones.
So if you haven't watched our show ever, I am a longtime TV news anchor, a local news veteran, recently quit my job. Shannon is a licensed psychotherapist, and we have been friends for years. And we started this show as a way to deal with life's challenges in a simple and safe way. So today on our show, we are talking about triggers. Now, we've done this episode before, but we wanted to bring it back because it was so popular, and I think it's something that affects everyone.
Yes. Well, if you walk out your front door or turn on the TV.
I've been triggered already like 5 times today.
Yeah, exactly. If you're breathing, you're going to be triggered.
So I wanted to kind of have Shannon first explain what a trigger is, and then I want to give a story of something that recently happened to me that came out of nowhere and it leveled me. And I was definitely triggered. So how would you describe a trigger?
So triggers are, I think they're a positive thing in the sense that they're indicators of unresolved pain, grief, sadness, things that we're kind of carrying around in our bellies. This is kind of where you hold your emotions, is in this little compartment here, and you're out in the world and you're carrying around this unresolved pain, and then someone unknowingly comes up and just goes, boop, and they hit your button or your trigger, and you're triggered, and now they've hit that place in you that has an unresolved feeling, an unresolved wound, unresolved, baggage, some people call it, and now you're kind of on fire. You're either crying or you're angry or you're attacking, but all your stuff is up. And so I think this is a wonderful thing because it feels awful.
Yeah, it feels awful.
Awful. Yeah. But it's a wonderful thing because it's an indicator to me, oh, I've got some stuff there that I need to work on. Because otherwise, think about it, the reason that I wanted to do this work, earlier in my life is because I got triggered all the time. Yeah. You're out in the world, you feel like a piano. Anybody can play you at any time, and then you're like upset for the rest of the day, crying, angry. So I love to figure out what my triggers are and deal with them and heal them so that when I'm out in the world, I'm not so vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can go through your daily schedule and be triggered all the time.
Every 10 minutes.
If you allow it. I mean, and I know some people like that I'm like, holy moly, they are just affected by everything.
Everyone and everything. Yes.
So, there are 2 types of triggers. You can be triggered by people, or you can be triggered by events. And so I was recently triggered by an event. I went and saw that movie, A Star is Born. Okay? It is a phenomenal movie. Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper are amazing. Their acting is top-notch in this.
Yes, but you should probably give a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you what happens at the end. So if you don't want to know...
Close your ears.
I know. But I have to tell it because it impacted me so much. I was not prepared for Bradley Cooper's character to die at the end of the movie.
Yes.
And I saw it coming, and I was like, literally I got the swirl, and I started to not just cry, but, Oprah calls it the ugly cry. I got the ugly cry. And I know, a lot of people would probably be triggered by that, but for me, it wasn't just leaving the movie theater and being upset.
And just stabbing.
Yeah, it was all night long. Like, I could not stop crying. Yes. I was hysterical. I was literally convulsing in the shower. I mean, it was crazy, and I'm like, why am I being triggered by this, But I knew I was being triggered by it. So that was my most recent trigger that felt, I get triggered by little things, but this leveled me.
Yeah, and so obviously, perfect example of an indicator of, there's still something unresolved here that is very tender, that is very sensitive, that I need to maybe do a little work on, or maybe, need to work more healing, or maybe just need to be so aware of so that I kind of take a little better care of myself and check into, maybe you do kind of a spoiler alert check on movies to just make sure, or ask around like, hey, is this an uplifting movie, or is this depressing? Because that is a very sensitive thing for you. And now you spent your weekend literally devastated and trying to put yourself back together again.
Yeah, and if you don't know, I mean, most people do know this. I lost my brother when I was very young, and I think whenever I see or hear someone dying, it affects me. Yeah, it affects me in a way that, and sometimes I can prepare for it. If I know someone's going to die, it doesn't feel as traumatic, but, I lost my brother suddenly to an accident that didn't make a lot of sense, and so I think when you see something sudden like that, it just really impacts me.
Right. Well, it's a severe trauma, and also it takes your empathy to a level that's unbelievable, because when I hear of someone dying, I feel horrible, but I haven't experienced what you've experienced. It's like my grandmother passed. You expect that somebody 85 years old is going to pass. But when you have a sudden traumatic event like that that leaves you reeling for years, then you know when someone says, oh, so-and-so died suddenly, or a loss of a child or something like that, you know their pain.
Yeah.
You know. And so you go to a very deep place, you know?
Well, the other events that I mean, people can also trigger you. So what is that about? What is it when you get annoyed by the way someone's talking or acting or chewing? My son, my son, he has a problem with the way people chew. It really triggers him, and he's 9. So
Well,
triggering can start early.
that I call spidey sense, which is that he probably has an increased sensitivity to sound, to light, to all of those things. So we could go off on a tangent on that.
Right.
But triggers with people, generally speaking, is that someone comes into your world, they say or do something or act in a way that makes you angry and frustrated, and you know. My mom used to say as a kid, my mom's a therapist too. God help me, right?
You are in trouble.
And really, God help my children. But being a therapist, she used to say to me, I would get triggered by a person and she'd say, you are disproportionately angry over this. Which means, yeah, you should be angry, but why are you blowing a gasket over this? And so people trigger us generally because they touch something in us, obviously that's old and unresolved. But I like to look at 2 pieces, which is it something I hate in myself? Those people really trigger me. Like if I'm a little bit of a victim or if I have a whiny side and I hate that in myself, and then I come in contact with somebody who's whiny, I'm like, I can't with you. Like
So you're projecting, what they call projecting,
yeah,
right?
that what I hate in me, I hate in you. And of course, in that moment, oftentimes it's hard for you to see that it's your trait that you're hating, right? And then the second piece of that is, it's also, we get really triggered when people do something, they allow something in themselves that
you
we
don't
would not allow, right? So this, I'm gonna throw my sweet friend Eric under the bus. Eric Roby, hi Eric, I miss you. So when you guys used to work, do you wanna tell the story of this?
No, you can tell it.
Okay, so when they used to work together, not too long ago, Suzanne is very good at self-care when it comes to, when it's her vacation time, she's outie 5,000.
Yeah,
she's like, bye, I'm going.
I have really clear boundaries. I'm not staying past the time that I'm supposed to stay.
Yeah, she's
I have
really
a full
good.
life.
Yeah,
right.
she's very good at self-care and taking care of herself and doing vacations and time out. Eric would be so annoyed. Oh, another vacation? You just went on a vacation. And her position, of course, was like, well, I have 4 weeks. Why wouldn't I take them?
Right.
But it was hard for him, I would imagine, to allow himself. And when I talked to Suzanne, she said, yeah, it's hard for him to allow himself to take care of himself, to cut out when he needs to, or to take vacations and do self-care. So he was very triggered because what he's not allowed to do, why are you allowed?
Right.
When really, again, how ironic, he had the same vacation time, and you can take care of yourself, but it's something that maybe from our childhood that we just are not good at, and so when somebody else is good at it, like a lot of people get frustrated with people who call off work. They called off last week too. Well, they had the flu. Well, I had the flu and I came in
to work.
right? And it's like, well, don't do that, you know.
Right.
But we get triggered by things that we're not good at allowing in ourselves, and somebody else is just letting it flow and letting it happen, and we get triggered by that.
Yeah.
So so people are good teachers for us.
I find that a lot now that I'm not working. People just want to know why I'm not working and what are you going to do? And, do you have money saved? It's like, really? Do you think I quit my job without saving money?
Just trust in the universe. Those bills will get paid.
Yeah. The other thing with triggers that I think is interesting is the way we react to them, Shannon. So for me, that open bottle of wine in my refrigerator looks really good when I'm triggered. Like when I got home from that movie, like I just wanted to drink. Because that would make me feel better.
Sure.
In reality, it probably wouldn't make me feel better. It probably make me cry harder. But why, is that a self-soothing thing?
It is, and you know what, I love that you bring that up again, a perfect question, because this is why triggers are so important, because if you don't deal with your triggers and you're going through life being triggered, you're most likely going to self-medicate those triggers with your favorite is wine, my favorite would probably be shopping, right? Many of us go to food, and I used to do that, can't do that anymore, but used to do food, we do, some people do
Gambling,
gambling,
right.
sexuality, chocolate, whatever
Right.
it is. So these are all ways that we self-soothe, self-medicate, and that can often turn into an addiction. Right? So that's why the triggers are so important to work on, because if you don't heal these, you'll just be drinking a bottle of wine a night, which, newsflash, when you're 65, that doesn't do good things for your liver. Right? So, you'll then have consequences. So it's important to not self-medicate and to deal with the triggers.
Yes. Very important. Ooh. You can still have a glass of wine, just don't drink the whole bottle.
Yeah, but not a bottle of wine a day.
All right, so what I said before was what I love about Shannon is the tools that she gives to deal with the problems in our lives. And so what we've created in our next segment is something called Shannon's Toolbox. And so she's going to give us the specific tools coming up next on how to deal with our triggers in a way that is healthy. A healthy way to deal with our triggers. That's coming up next on What Your Friends Won't Tell You, so stick around. We'll be right back. All right, good morning. Oh, good morning. It's afternoon, isn't it?
What day is it?
Doesn't matter.
We're here, but we're back.
That's right. Welcome back to What Your Friends Won't Tell You. In our special 50th episode, I'm Suzanne Boyd.
And Shannon Thompson Jones.
Shannon Thompson Jones, and we're talking about triggers today. And Shannon has a really special gift in that she gives tools to deal with challenges like I've never seen. And so we wanted to create this segment called Shannon's Toolbox, so she had a chance to really give us the tools to deal with our triggers. All right, so let's start off with identifying, because I think that's the most, you have to be aware that you're being triggered, right?
Yeah, so the first thing is, if you're hysterical, it's historical, and I steal that from the 12-step programs. I have always loved that. So basically, if you're feeling enraged and tearful and you're really kind of over the top, it's probably not about the other person.
Yes.
Or the event.
And the 90-10 rule, which is
from Harville Hendrix and the Imago theory, which I love, which is that if, like, especially in couples, if we're battling and I am on fire, 90% of what's going on for me is right here. And you are the 10% that just touched it. The movie was the 10% that touched your wound. The person who triggers you is the 10% that just touches. I think about a bruise on your leg, it's purple, and it's like, gosh, whenever you touch it, it's like, right? Yeah. That's what that person or event is. They're the 10%, and the 90% is inside. So remembering that tool is really important to identify. So if you're on fire, the first thing you have to say is, what is going on with me, right?
Pause.
Yes,
right?
Because what we like to do is, what's going on with you? You that cut me off in traffic,
why are you being a jerk?
Right. And it's never about that. So if you can pause and identify, and it's a couple tools to identify, because lots of people are like, oh, what's going on with me? And they can sit there for days going, I don't know.
Yeah.
So my favorite tool is to say, A, what am I feeling? And guess what, folks? It has to be a feeling word. It can't be, I feel like crap. It needs to be, I feel anxious, angry, sad, lonely. So if we go back to your movie, you felt sad, devastated, grief, loss, pain. Okay, so you figure out what you feel, and then this is such spot on for Suze. And then you say to yourself, when do I remember feeling like this? As a child? Or, it's usually historical, so it's usually back in your childhood, and then we choose lots of patterns that will repeat that throughout our lives. But try to go back to the original, which is so perfect for you, right? So we say, well, gee, Suze, what does this remind you of? When were you devastated, in serious grief, serious pain, serious loss, tremendous sadness, feeling alone in the world? well, gosh, when my brother passed,
Yeah.
right? So now you know what's going on, what the pain is, right? So that's the first thing, is identifying it.
Yeah. And then the second one was, is it the truth today?
Right. So one of the things, and I get to cheat a little bit here because Sue's a dear friend. So one of the things I know that comes up for her a lot is like that aloneness,
feeling,
that
yeah.
aloneness, like I'm in it by
Alone.
myself.
Yeah.
And so this is a great tool to say, is it true today? Because at that moment when her brother passed, she was a young child and she was alone. Her parents were in so much grief, they could barely function. She had a baby sibling at that point, or older,
Yeah,
okay,
a younger sibling.
a younger sibling. So what can that person do for her? Nothing. She was literally alone on the front step waiting for her brother to come back. And that was real. Today, I do not see Suzanne as alone. Matter of fact, I think she probably wishes she could get a break, right? She's got children.
I am the opposite of alone.
Right, she's got so many wonderful people in her life that are literally a text away, a phone call away, a neighbor, friends, parents, children. And so really today, if she feels alone, she literally can pick up her phone and say, hey, Sam, can you come by? You want to get together for the evening? Or can you bring dinner? I'm so overwhelmed. And her friends would come, step up, her parents would step up. She's filled with people. That's not real aloneness. So this is so important to say, even though I'm feeling so alone right now, is this the truth today? It's not really the truth today, right? And then that leads us into the next one, which is so important, which is
creating a new habit.
Creating a new habit, and I would even add to that.
And I think this goes to the self-soothing.
Self-soothing, right?
Yeah.
So this is like,
instead of drinking wine,
right?
What's the new habit?
Right.
Go to yoga.
Right. Well, and
Right.
I would even say like that the third one, creating a new habit, is the way we want to self-soothe. But I would even say, like, before creating a new habit, what do I need to do to take care of myself right now? So she came home from that movie. She was in so much pain. I imagine you needed connection. I imagine you needed to be held and have somebody remind you, I'm right here, you're not alone, and it's not going to feel like this forever. Right? Oh, I love you so much.
I would have called you. I should have called you after the movie.
Yes, I would have held you through the phone. But that's really what it is that's what she needed, and that would have been a new habit than drinking wine.
Right.
Right? To be held and be reassured and nurtured and let you know you're not alone. And it would have hurt. Listen, folks, sometimes this is what it is. It's not like we can erase this pain. I'm just giving you tools to get through it.
Yeah,
But
it's painful.
It's painful, and so she.
And that's why people self-soothe, because you don't want to.
You don't want to do it. But guess what? It
You have
doesn't
to deal
work.
with it.
It doesn't work. So be held, be rocked, be told that you're okay. Call some friends, call your supports that love you, that would get you through it. And then creating a new habit might be checking into movies before you go to see them.
I am swearing off all movies now. And I've always said I'm not a movie person. Like, it affects me more than it affects most people. I try to tell that to everyone in my life. Like, not really a movie person because they really affect me.
And
I can only handle like mindless, stupid movies. So if you want to invite me to a mindless, stupid movie, I'm in.
But it's so true, because when you talk about creating a new habit, I remember I watched, it was 10, 15 years ago, $1 Million Baby. I was affected for a month.
Yeah.
For a month, I had a sick pit in my stomach. It touched something in me. It was so devastating to me. So I don't watch movies like that anymore. So creating a new habit, how do I take care of myself in this moment? We've talked about in the past being lonely on the weekends for those of you that go through a divorce. So Sundays are the worst day. They're the loneliest day. Creating a new habit on a Sunday is critical to do a fun family movie or dinner at the barbecue place.
Or
so that you're
inviting
not,
all your girlfriends over for a barbecue or something,
Right,
That's
getting
always-
out of the house, or getting out of the house to safe places, not places where there's a million family members if you're going through
You
a
have
divorce.
to protect your sanity.
Yeah,
And
so-
your psyche.
Yeah.
Okay, so love those tools. Great advice. We also want to be able to give you resources, because I am a reader, and I have for many years been reading self-help books. And I just picked this one up yesterday, and I started to reread it, and I said, this is our resource for triggers.
Yeah.
It's called The Untethered Soul. It's by Michael Singer, and I am telling you, it will change the way you view the world.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're being triggered a lot and you don't know how to get out of that, this is a really great book for that.
Absolutely. It really speaks to the spiral in your head, which I'm sure after the movie you were like spinning and telling yourself things. So it deals with that. That's wonderful. I thought you were going to say you had 4 million books, but you said 4 years. Okay.
I have 4 million books.
She does have 4 million
That too.
books.
And the other resource that you
Yes.
had suggested was
Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. And I love her because she's a vulnerability expert, and she really helps people get real with their pain and get authentic and get vulnerable and go inside and, you know, deal with the triggers, the pain, all of it. So it's a great book.
Brené Brown, you can follow her. And the final one is journaling. So journaling really helps you to kind of get in touch with that side, and you will be. One of my biggest journaling tips is if you've never journaled before and you're like, I don't like to write, I'm not big on that. Take your journal and at the very top of it write, what am I afraid of? And don't think about it, just start writing. And you will be shocked at what is written on that page.
Yeah,
Like,
journaling really should be used as a brainstorming event, right? Don't think too much.
Don't think too much. Just, you know, do prompts like that. What am I afraid of? What do I want out of life? Like those kind of things, it will really help you get in touch with not only yourself, but your triggers and things that, you know, kind of keep you from finding joy.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation to just, it's like, I think of it as a scarf trick. I say that with my clients, like just try to grab the end and then it just all comes out. Just keep writing.
Okay, coming up next, we have a new segment for What Your Friends Won't Tell You. I love this segment because I always say this, the best thing ever. All right, so that's coming up next on What Your Friends Won't Tell You. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back to What Your Friends Won't Tell You. And we really wanted to show that we have different segments here on What Your Friends Won't Tell You. And this next thing is called this next segment is called the best thing ever. You know, it's so funny. I know that all like Sam and all the people that are here today are saying, you say that all the time, because I really do. I mean, when I'm talking about things that I love, if it's, you know, a new mascara, a new lipstick, or a new drink, or a new book I'm reading, I'm always saying it's the best thing ever. So, but it's really funny because the best thing ever today was actually given to me by Sam Kerrigan, Traffic Jam Sam, who is here today as just emotional support. So thank you, Sam. But she gave this to me last Christmas, and I was really struggling last Christmas about kind of where I wanted to go in my life and what I wanted my next step to be. I was feeling a little, what's the word? I just wasn't feeling like it felt authentic, the news to me anymore. Like not the news itself, but just being in the news business. It just didn't feel like what I wanted to be doing anymore. Right. So she gave me this. It's called the Desire Map Planner. It's by Daniel Laporte. Wow. And it's a whole year's worth of prompts. So if you're looking to start journaling, I think this is a really great tool. You can get dated and non-dated now. So she has them where she dates all the days, or you can get non-dated, so if you want to start now and not start in January. But it starts with something like this that makes you kind of lay out all of your goals and your intentions for the year.
Oh, so important.
I want you to read, or I want to read you what I wrote down.
Oh, I just got chills.
In January of 2018.
Ooh.
I will leave the news business. I'm going to cry. I will no longer get up at 2 a.m. I will continue work on What Your Friends Won't Tell You. I will move toward putting out only good content. I will take care of myself. I will create peace and freedom in my life. It goes down. But just those first few, I think, are mind-blowing, because when I wrote this down, I honestly had no idea how I was going to make this happen. Yeah. You know, no idea how I was going to make this happen.
Wow.
But thank you, Sam, for changing my life. This is the best thing ever.
Yes. And
So-
when you set an intention, like,
Yes.
please know, here's another tool. Suzanne doesn't even realize she's got a great toolbox.
Right.
When you set an intention for your life,
Yes.
be careful, because it
'Cause
will
it will
come
happen.
true. In
It will
less than a
happen.
year, look at the chills.
Yeah.
In less than a year.
Yes.
You
I mean,
did
that's
it.
how quickly it happened. So, so this is our best thing ever. It's Daniel Laporte's Desire Map Planner. You can get it at daniellaporte.com/planner, I think is where it is. I can't remember if I built a graphic for that or not. Did I, Bruce? Probably not. Okay, so I'll just put it, I know we haven't had the comments up and we haven't been responding to your comments, but I'm going to go back after this and respond to all of your comments, and I'll put the link in there of how you can get this planner. It's about $50, right, Sam? Yeah, it's $50. It's not cheap, but I'm telling you, it is worth
it.
And if you're looking for gifts for people for Christmas, I'm telling you that really are struggling, like, go get the Desire Map Planner, because it really is the best thing ever. Yeah.
Love it.
All right, well, I guess.
We have a mantra for today.
Oh, right.
We want to leave you with a mantra that really fits for today.
Yeah.
Because when we're looking at triggers, usually it's the fear that prevents us from getting honest with how we're feeling and
Yeah.
really facing it. So today's mantra is face the fear and feel your feelings. You are stronger than you think you are.
Yeah, so we wanted to create this mantra because I have been using a mantra now for probably 4 years, and I end all of my journaling with it, and it's just be brave. It's something simple like that. But we want to give you a mantra that you can repeat pretty much all week long, or if you're dealing with this issue, that you should write it down, you should say it over and over again. And I know some people are thinking, mantra, that is so woo-woo. But when I tell you it works, it works.
Well, you know what? We all want to think the brain is so fancy and so, it's so simple. It's a data entry machine. What you put in is what you get out.
Yeah.
If you stand in front of the mirror every day and tell yourself you're ugly, I promise you, money back guarantee, you will feel ugly in no time.
Yeah.
So it's just a data entry system. So when you're saying things like this, mantras, when you're saying be brave, your brain's like, okay, let me do that.
Right.
So whatever we're feeding ourselves is what's going to come back out. It's that simple.
So today's mantra, once again, face the fear and feel your feelings.
You're stronger than you think you are.
Yeah, it's so true. Okay, well, that was our 50th episode. All right, but before we go, if you guys can do us a couple of quick favors, we have a new entry on our website. Thank you, Brendan, our IT guy, for setting this up for us. And it's a box that basically pops up when you go to our website. It's WYFWTY, whatyourfriendswon'ttellyu.com acronym, so WYFWTY. And if you go to that, it will pop up a box that asks for you to enter your email address. We're going to be sending out a weekly newsletter. Did you know this?
I didn't know that. Suzanne off work is a little intimidating.
I know. I'm like, by the way, we're creating a weekly newsletter.
Okay, Suzanne will be creating a weekly newsletter.
And so we want to keep you updated on the show, and you can reply to us via that email. So if you sign up and if you want to have a show topic or anything you want to do, you can reply to us on that email. So go to our website and enter your email address. And also don't forget, you can follow us on all of our social media channels. We are on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on podcast, on iTunes Podcast and Anchor Podcast. So you can find us, watch us, listen to us anyway, and you can find all of that information on our website. It will give you all the links for the different social sites at WYFWTY.com.
Whatever she just said is absolutely accurate.
Shannon's like, okay.
No habla.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. And please, please, please leave us your comments. And if you have any show topics you want Shannon and I to tackle, any issues that you're dealing with in your life, we would love, love, love to hear what you have to say. Even if you just have something you want to comment about the show or something we can do differently, we would love to hear your feedback.
Thanks so much.
Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning
have
in.
a great day.
Bye.
Yay!
Mwah.
That was
Was it?
God.
Oh my gosh, is
that's
that
insane.
crazy?
That's great. We have that though. We've always had that good timing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, it's over.
We did it!
We did it. All right.
And you didn't fall.
I didn't fall.
You didn't ball.
Oh, ball. I did ball. I did.
You did just enough
I did
crying.
hysterically
you did
cry.
just enough crying. You did. You hit the mark perfectly. Not too much.
I
not
have
too
been
little.
hysterical in some of our videos, if you go back and look. Yes. Well, I don't know why the best thing ever triggered me. I mean, that was the last part. I thought that I would be bawling
Because
crying.
you stopped holding your breath. You're like, I'm through all the difficult stuff. Wham.
Right. Yeah, so what did you guys think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What segments did you like? I feel like we could add some more. What did you think, Bruce?
Well, so next week we're going to add, we'll put out a post to get people to comment on
Yeah.
it. So we'll put their comments on the air
Yeah.
so they can see their stuff on the
Okay, so yeah, we didn't get the Facebook comments up, but we'll figure that out for next
Okay.
week. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can see what you're commenting while the video is happening.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? What else? Steph, anything that you saw that?
Yeah, I think we
Couple lower
just
thirds
go
on this
with
would be good.
more lower thirds, less full screens, and show your beautiful faces more.
Oh, okay. You like the lower thirds.
Yeah, I like it
Yeah.
better.
So
Okay.
we're talking about TV stuff. So lower thirds are the graphics that you see across the bottom of the screen versus full screens where they take the graphic over our faces
Things
completely.
like this.
Yeah, so show them a lower third.
Okay.
This is all TV stuff that we had to figure out. Yeah, this is why there's a lot of work that goes into an actual TV show. You know, it's not just people talking. There's
It's
a
a
lot of
lot.
stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't understand. So these are lower thirds. And Bruce, did you create these graphics?
I used a template that I found.
He had a
But I made
template,
all
but
that
still
stuff
he
on it.
created. I'm going to say he created them. Sam,
I
what'd
can
you think?
create them, I
I
did.
thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Jean?
love the segments.
Yeah, the segments,
Yeah, It
right?
really makes it feel like a show.
Feel like a show, and it breaks it up so it
Breaks it
doesn't
up,
feel
yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's.
I got all behind the
Yeah.
scenes
I
shot
love
with
the best
Jean
thing
in the
ever.
background.
Yeah,
I love
the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Gene, what did you think? There's our
Well, we talk
videographer.
about real issues
Yeah.
Yeah,
and can help people.
yeah, that's
the
what
most important
That's the
part.
whole
that's
point.
what we're all
That's the
about.
whole point. Yep.
Yeah,
That's why it's
I don't.
taken us
We
to-
don't ever want that to get lost.
No,
and
that's why
I-
it's taken us to 50 to do all this, because
Yes.
that's really the raw material that we wanted, and that's
Right.
what we've been focused on.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, Shannon was a little nervous, and I was too. That with everyone here and with all this, would it not feel as authentic as it does when she and I are just in my living room by ourselves with a camera,
Right.
videotaping ourselves? And I felt like it was
Nope.
still felt very comfortable.
We can cry with a whole room of people.
If anyone wants to come be the
Yeah.
studio audience in the future,
Yeah, we're good.
right, that's
Now
right.
finish eating.
Now you can finish eating. Well, thank you guys so much for
Yes.
watching. We really, really, really appreciate it. And please give us your show topics, because we literally have gone through everything going on in our
Yeah.
lives over the last 50 episodes.
Everything we're
Yeah, and you know, it's the thing is, and Shannon and I talk about this, like when you're so if I'm going through an issue right now, I'm not ready to talk about it. Like I'm ready to talk about things when it's on the back end for me,
Yeah,
because if
me
I'm
too.
going through it, it's way too painful.
vulnerable.
Yeah,
Too
it's too
vulnerable.
vulnerable.
But we
so
talk about it
we have
after.
things going on in our lives right now, but we're not ready to really kind of
Yeah.
talk about them.
That'd be a negative.
So if you guys have any issues, and you can remain anonymous, like if you just want to send us an email, or if you want to send us a comment, or not a comment, but you can send us a direct message on our Facebook page. That way, if you don't want anyone to know what you want us to talk about, then we can obviously do that without using your name. So if you
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
We, in fact, we never use
we
anyone's
don't
name
like
when we're
to,
talking.
unless they really kind of are wanting us
Yes.
to. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
social comments, their names and things will be there, profile picture and stuff, so
Right.
they know.
Right. So if you're commenting on social
Yes.
underneath our stream, you will
Everybody's
see your
gonna see
name
it,
pop
yeah.
up. Yeah, especially on the stream. But but I think most people know that everyone can see that. Anything else? Anything else? Brendan, what'd you think?
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube, yes. There you go. Brandon, we forgot to say that. Yeah, so we are trying to get our YouTube channel really beefed up. I think we have, 50 subscribers now? 44 subscribers.
Yay.
So if you're on YouTube, I know a lot of our age group is not, but maybe if you're younger, I don't know, maybe I'm
No, I think you're probably accurate.
Yeah,
as I
because my
don't
kids
even
are
know
on
how-
YouTube for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But if you're on YouTube, go just subscribe
Teach
to
your
our channel.
parents. Could you do that? That's all you young people. Can you help us?
That's right.
Can you
Can
go
you
help your
just go
parents get on YouTube?
Can you just go subscribe to our channel on your parents' page or
Yes,
on your page? It
please.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's
It's a wrap.
Thanks for.
That's a wrap.
what's that?
I said that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Very black.